Okay, we're recording.
All right, so we're doing the CAP task 1, and I've got Barry's paper. Your content is aligned with the course. You do a great job of including the teacher's working condition, but also you did a great job of adding in a survey and then comparing that data. I like that your principal was part of your PLC. Great job in analyzing the data, and I love that you kind of, since it was a little bit older with the new admins, you did a new survey. So I guess for your rubric weaknesses, my question is, did your group ever disagree on what should be added for your either needs assessment or for your recommendations? I know in the rubric, it says something about like disagreement and how you, like, I guess, overcame that. That was like specific in there. So that's something I really didn't see in your paper. And you might want to add a little bit more on just like your specific leadership roles. I think I only kind of like once or twice, like when you said the word like the candidate led, a lot of it was just like generic. Everything looked great. I made a couple comments for your grammar, but organization was great. Easy to read. It flowed well, and everything looks correct with APA format.
Cool. All right, on your end, I said for the content that's aligned with the rubric and use appropriate sources when directed. The one thing I did look at was where you put your school profile at the very beginning. Mm-hmm. That would probably come later in the paper, towards where you're going into your needs assessment. Okay. The rubric strength, I said the candidate examines the data for the 5 areas that the state has identified to measure, and you created your needs assessment based off of those. For a weakness, is that one thing I just said about moving your school profile. And then I would also recommend you using those 5 areas as your subheadings to go into each one of those a little bit more with your data, to break those apart, make them a little bit more clear and stand out. Okay. Said that the candidate works with the CAP team to analyze data. Not only did the candidate analyze data herself, but delegated the team to come up with their own suggestions for areas of need to be discussed. So that was showing some leadership there. Just some little mechanical things in there. Use the word her. I would take that word out, change it somehow. And then some other simple little mistakes throughout that I made note of. Everything was clear. You had subheadings and your headings in there, and your information was easy to locate. And then just make sure you have your images included with your tables and everything. I know you're still working towards that, but make sure you get them in there. And then all your citations look good for APA format.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll go next. So Caleb, I did your CAP. As far as the content goes, I said great job supporting requests in CAP 1. You included data from your actual survey, and I know you mentioned you might include more, but that was great. Also said for your strength that the goals and artifacts were labeled, and the candidate used the teacher climate survey to support the documentation needed. As far as your weakness, there was a few errors that I just kind of made comments within, as far as, changes you could make, but I know that you know your English a lot better than I do. Leadership, I said leadership is demonstrated throughout task 1 of the CAP. Be sure to include the details from your PLC and make sure the data aligns to what you guys discuss, with maybe an agenda or something that you could incorporate in there. Mechanics grammar, I said once again, see the document. And then organization, I said the document's organized in a manner that is logical. Candidate is professional when discussing results from the survey. I know sometimes that can kind of hinder how you word things, especially like me when I'm reading something and I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound as well. So I thought you handled it in a very professional manner.
All right, Blair, with your paper, everything APA looks good, even down through your citations and your tables. I like that. I like how the paper reads very well. Charts and graphs all make sense. I know you do explain them in it, but they kind of explain themselves, which is nice. Your subheadings, everything flows great. top-notch paper. That's pretty much all I have to say. I didn't see any errors.
Okay.
Just to be honest, I didn't see any, so looks good.
Thank you. All right.
You're
Any other questions? Everybody good?